Here comes the teardrops. Welcome, oh, welcome to my eyes.
This is the home of Detroit's rare oldies, 1460 AM, WPON, Walled Lake, Detroit.
Rock and roll lawyer show.
In order of the court, to be a rock and roll star, you have to be introduced like one. It's the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show.
Taught for 12 years. Loved kids. And now, in fact, that I'm not teaching, interestingly enough, I have one of my own. My wife and I have a little boy who just turned 3 years old Monday. I love being a daddy. Thank you. Thank you. I am a breeder. In fact, we delivered him 3 years ago this Monday via what they now call natural childbirth. I assume you women are familiar with this. This procedure that was invented by a man named Lamaze. The Marquis de Lamaze, a disciple of Dr. Joseph Mengele, ladies and gentlemen. A man who concluded that women could counteract the incredible pain of childbirth through rhythmic breathing. I think we all agree that breathing is a reasonable substitute for anesthesia. It's like asking a man to tolerate a vasectomy by hyperventilating. And Lamaze expected the husband to be there so that he could witness this festivity, and I didn't want to be there. This was remarkably painful for my wife, and there was nothing my presence could do to really relieve this pain, and so I didn't see why my evening should be ruined too. And I don't mean to sound insensitive. Believe me, it is very hard to see a woman you love suffer like this. And the husband's job as her coach is to basically listen to her beg for medication and just say no is what it amounts to, and this tends to make her cranky after 30 hours. They prepare couples by having them attend Lamaze classes, the highlight of which is the film of a baby being born. Perhaps the most gruesome flick I'd ever seen, ladies and gentlemen. If you think Aliens was a gruesome movie, just wait till you see Fetal Attraction. Never, ever will you see anything even remotely approaching the gruesomeness of this.
and Roll Lawyer.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
We are on the air right here on WPON 1460 AM. Your host, the Rock and Roll Lawyer, on the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show, TYG 314-331-22. I think my sister knows what those numbers mean. Wall Lake, Detroit, and
Park.
Park. I'm glad I got the mask on because it'd go all over the room after that one.
And
I'll tell
I'd get it because you're right across.
Yeah, so let me explain
But
a
6
couple
feet
things.
across.
I have a mask on, okay? These two people over here live together, and they're 6 feet away from me, and you're 6 feet away from me, right?
Yes.
And Moto is about 20 miles away from me, which is great.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Put him on the air. Let's talk to that putz. Hello, Moto.
Yes, I'm right here.
Are you okay? Are you stoned right now or what? We have to know this.
So, I'm okay.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Listen how he sounds. That don't sound like Moto, does it?
Speak closer to the phone.
It's me. It's me.
It's you. Okay.
That's better.
How many wines have you had, and how many whatever you take have you had so far?
No, I just had a glass of wine and a beer. That's it.
You're
No-
not supposed
no
to
gummies?
drink. He's not supposed to drink on the air. We told him that. This guy doesn't listen to any of the things that we've
It's
talked
not like
about.
he's got a thermos of champagne sitting here on
I
desk.
know. Ugh. My sister says, oof. Okay. But this is a great show. This show was inspired by Charles Duell III. Okay? And it came across because he started talking about how folk music really influenced rock and roll music, especially the Byrds. So this is, Sherry came up with the title. I think that's for the Byrds, and that's really what the show is about. But we're going to explore the originals, and then you're going to hear how the hits came about. And Rick and I in the 60s played this stuff. And the
Yes,
bands
yes,
we
we
did.
did.
And then the alternatives still play some of this stuff. Now, with your other band, do you play any of the Byrds tunes?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Can't wait till this is over so we can start playing again.
That would be a good thing.
It is.
We are practicing again, though. So
That's a good
Yeah.
thing. That's a good thing. We're gonna try we're gonna try to figure out how we can practice at each separate house. We saw a video the other day where they were doing that. All these musicians were playing together and practicing. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm gonna find out how to do that. But
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. It's hot in here, boy. But we're gonna have a good time on the show today. Moto, do you remember a lot of the songs by the Byrds?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That was just like a one word answer, which is cool.
He probably knows what year all of them were born in the band and how many songs
Absolutely.
they did. And everything.
Absolutely.
He's just being shy right now.
Exactly.
Too many gummy bears.
Too many gummy bears. There you go. He had a beer and a wine. Great. Ay, ay, ay.
3 hours ago.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So why don't we do this here? I remember. I don't know who bought it. Either my sister or I bought this record. All you really want to do is be friends. All I really want to do is be friends with you. I mean, you remember that tune by Cher? Became
Yes,
a big
we
hit.
did that.
And I always thought that Sonny sang on that because she goes from a higher part to a lower part, and I thought that was Sonny. But originally written by the great folk singer
Dylan.
Bobby Zimmerman, Robert Zimmerman. What's up, kid? I forgot to announce you, man.
No, what's up, Phil?
This guy's the heart of the show right here.
Thank you.
Getting
Thank
it
you,
ready.
appreciate
He's
it.
on Facebook. So far, we haven't been booted out yet, but let's see what Warner Brothers does for us.
You
on
notice
this
he
one.
conveniently keeps himself off camera.
Yes. And he is kind of masked up a little bit. So, but we're cool. See, I got a mask, so nobody could fetch to me today. All right? So why don't we... that's good. You look like Zorro.
Okay.
You look like
show the people.
You look like Zorro, man. So he's covered.
He's going to go downstairs and rob the cafeteria.
So I got sunglasses because I had my eyes checked today, you know, for cataracts. This is what happens when you become a big boy, cataract time. And I was cool, but I can't see. Everything is bright. So this is my new look here. So there you go. Why don't we hear Bob Dylan? You're going to hear All I Really Want to Do, and then you're going to hear a little taste of the Byrds, and then you'll hear Cher. And when you hear Cher, you'll hear the other part, and I thought it was Sonny.
Oh, it's a 3-for-1 here, huh?
Yeah, 3-for-1.
Cool.
I remember that. Okay.
Sonny
3-for-1.
Sing with
What's that?
her. Sonny sing.
Yeah,
with
but
her.
on not this one. I read that. So
Oh, okay.
remember 3-for-1 right here. 3-for-1 on WPON 1460 AM.
Simplify you, classify you, magnify or crucify you. All I really wanna do is baby friends with you. Chase you, track or trace you, or disgrace you, or displace you, or define you, or confine you. All I really wanna do is baby friends
For how long?
Good son. I'm not stopping alive.
Are we back?
We're on air.
Man, those Munzers got me again. That's okay. I'll
They
straighten
got your number,
I'll
dude.
straighten out Warner Brothers. But hey, Warner Brothers, I'm glad you had to spend $3 trillion paying back everybody
Fix
for Happy
Universal
Birthday.
while you're at it.
And
will
we're
you?
in Universal too. So that must be G. Scott Rainey, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, put him on because he remembers all these tunes right here on the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show 1460. G. Scott, here we go again. He's off. Okay, good. All right, great technical stuff.
Speaking of being high.
Yeah, really. So Charles Douglas Douglas III, you know, the bass player,
Yes,
the
yes.
former bass player of
Yes.
the Alternatives and our substitute bass
Nice
player.
guy.
Great guy. So he suggested the idea for the show, and it started out with this song called The Bells of Rimney, and that was a poem about a mining disaster in, I think, Scotland, if I'm not mistaken. But Pete Seeger popularized it in the United States. He wrote the words, or he put music to the words, and then the Byrds did a great version. But I didn't hear the original version until yesterday, and I flipped out. I said, "This is really good," because it rocks out later on. Starts off slow, but then it rocks out. Really cool
Okay,
song.
who's doing it?
It's going to be Pete Seeger and of course the Birdies.
Okay.
Let's go to it.
Was mostly questions, but you know, Einstein used to say that 90% of any research problem is learning the right questions to ask. And I guess every generation complains that the previous generation didn't ask the right questions. Be that as it may, this song was written in the 1930s by a Welsh coal miner.
Oh, what will you give me? Say the sad bells of Rimney. Is there hope for the future? Say the brown bells of Macha. Who made the mine owners? Say the black bells of Runda. And who robbed the miner? Say the green bells of Blina. They will plunder willingly. Say the bells of Highfield. They have fangs, they have teeth. Shout the loud bells of Leith. Even God is uneasy, say the moist bells of Swansea. And what will you give me? Say the sad bells of Rumney. Though the vandals in court say the bells of Newport, all would be well if say the green bells of Cardiff. Why so worried, sisters, why sang the silver bells of Wye? Oh, what will you give me? Say the sad bells of Rimney. Give me, say the sad bells of Rimney. their hope for the future, say the brown bells of America. Who made the mine owners, say the black bells of Rumba. And who robbed the miner, say the grim bells of Galena. Plunder willingly, they have fangs, they have teeth, shout the loud bell of need. Even God is uneasy, say the moist bells of Swansea. And what will you give me, say the sad bells of candles in court, say the bells of all would be well if say the green bells of Cardiff. Why so worried, sisters, why sang the silver bells of wine? Give me, say the sad bells of liberty.
Bells of Ribney. I'm not going to say who it is so I don't get hit again. But he was a famous folk singer. His first name was Pete. If I say his last name, maybe I'll get hit. But I think you know who I'm talking about. And the great group from California that were influenced by, of course, Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan and many others, especially the guitar player Jim McGuinn. At the time, that was his name. It's now Roger, but he was influenced by George Harrison. He heard that 12-string guitar when he saw Help. And then after that, he went out and bought the Rickenbacker.
Because he needed help.
He needed help, yeah, he did. But right now, one of the songs that the Alternatives do is Turn, Turn, Turn. I remember, you know, it was very hard learning that guitar solo because he finger picks it.
It's not the simplest song to do.
No,
either.
it's not simple. And with the harmonies, we've had, you know, we really worked on that. And but it's from the Bible. And I remember taking a class, it's from Ecclesiastes, if I said it right.
Ecclesiastics.
Ecclesiastics?
That's what I always...
Okay, so Ecclesiastics or C's or wherever, but we studied it, and it's about turn, 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 right from the Bible. Then Pete Seeger wrote the lyric to it, the melody, and he talks about it here in an interview. And it's really interesting of how he came up with it. So what I did was you'll hear him sing it first, and then after that, I lowered the volume. It's called bed music, and then I increased the volume of his interview, and then we go right into the Byrds. And man, you wait till you feel it when we go into the Byrds. Really cool. Let's roll it, man.
Everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to
I remembered seeing a video of you at the night you were given the Kennedy Center honors, and clearly you were very moved when Jim McGuinn sang "Turn, Turn, Turn." Is it powerful to hear your music?
Oh, it's a great honor. That recording of the Byrds is a fantastic recording. What harmony that. They had to change my melody very slightly, but it works. Now when I sing it, most people have learned the song from the Byrds record, so I sing their version of it rather than what mine's okay, but as long as I'm singing it that way, I'll sing it their version. Although never can tell what will happen in the ages. It's an extraordinary poem, though. Somebody made a whole book out of it. I can't remember the name of the publisher. But they got a wonderful illustrator to do illustrations for every single line in the song. I changed it. Of course, they put the absolute, the King James translation, and then they print what I did with it. I rearranged it very slightly so it rhymed better. Time of war, time of peace, a time you may embrace and peace. Time of love, a time of hate, time of war, time of love, a time of hate, time of peace. I swear it's not too late. So I added one line of my own to the King James version. But what a poem that is. It is something worth considering. That the world is full of opposites intertangled. The good and bad tangling up all the time. Nobody knows. God only knows. And words mean different things at different times. I tell everybody, I probably told it to you, I don't know if it's in your book, how the agricultural revolution took thousands of years, the industrial revolution took hundreds of years, and now the information revolution only taking decades. And if we use it, and use the brains God gave us, who knows what miracles may happen within the next few years.
The Byrds, right here on WPON, 1460 AM, the Rock and Roll Order Show from
Oak Park.
There you go, right here.
Hey, we gotta find this little guy that's turning the switch off on our video.
I know, man, that Mumser, what a...
He's a hoe.
Yeah, no kidding. That guy. You know what? I got to tell you a story just like this. So I had to write a brief, right? And it was 58 pages, and the limit is 50. So what Lisa said, and I said, why don't we change the font? So we changed it to 11 and a half, right? We get 50 pages. I sent it in. Some schmuck, okay, who works at the Court of Appeals, measured the fonts. And he said, oh, no, yes. I get a card back. They said you have to correct it. If not, we're going to dismiss your appeal. So we had to cut out 8 pages, and I had to use 12 point. That's the same guy who's working for Facebook.
Yes, yep.
Same guy.
Same mustache.
Oh, man, gee, unbelievable. You know, you run into people like that, you want to punch them, don't you? I mean, I don't... Literally will do that.
You realize we have people calling in asking if Sheldon still has his mustache underneath that thing?
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, let me put it back
You just
on.
showed all.
My sister's going to yell at me if I don't do this, and Marcia will yell at me, and my other friends. But that's all right. I'm safe. I'm
Your
cool.
strap's all crooked.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. How's that? Cool? There you go.
You actually look like Matt Dillon.
He looks like the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
The Invisible Man.
With his mustache coming down.
Oh, no, I mean now.
Or even Earp. Wyatt Earp.
Earp. Okay, very good. Mr. Earp. Okay. Very cool, but really cool song. That was from the Bible. Pete Seeger wrote it, of course, and then the Byrds performed it, and Rick was actually playing the drums on that. G. Scott remembers that song, don't you, G. Scott?
I do, and let me tell you something. This show is for the Byrds.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is for the Byrds. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is for the Byrds with a Y.
With the Y. What did you think of the Byrds what song did you first hear from the Byrds?
Well, I think I saw my next song, and I just liked it right away. I thought they were amazing. The harmony, the slow string guitar, I thought they were enormous. They were folk rock. You know, they
folk
were
rock.
major.
Mm-hmm.
What was their first hit?
Their first hit, wasn't it Tambourine Man? I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, Bob Dylan.
Yeah, we did that one too.
Yeah, that's coming up later. But we got a lot of cool songs. I mean, the set list is really long tonight, which is fine.
You didn't do Brown Eyed Girl, did you?
No, I won't play that. You know. I mean, I played it once for this chick when we were playing because she was really cute, but nothing happened, so I regretted playing it. So whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. So, you know, I want to play a song by this great band, Betty B and the Rope Walkers. We're going to do Bad Girl Blues, but let me tell you who wrote this. Kate Hart, a friend of mine. She was in Detroit Women. And were you here, G. Scott, when I had Detroit Women on? And how about you? Were you here, you guys? So. There was 9 of them.
I don't think I did.
No, I wasn't here for that.
Kate Hart.
You don't,
Kate Hart. She's quite a nice person.
A great person. I love her. So I remember, you know, we were practicing in the office, learning their names, and I had note cards. So when they came on, I had all their names memorized. And you have to do that sometimes. In fact, there's a book called Black Bottom. We're going to get the author on. I don't know when. I got to read the book. Sherry set that up, so that's going to be really cool. Black Bottom, Detroit Jazz, and it's going to be really a cool interview. I love interviewing people. You know, it changes the whole tone of the show. It's the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show. No law today other than that one story about the Court of Appeals. That's enough. That's enough.
We need to get another band on here.
Yeah, we're going to play some more music right now. But let's hear Bad Girl Blues with Sandy on lead and Chuck and everybody else on the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show.
Now, the part of the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show that has absolutely nothing to do with law. It's Frank's After Hours Lounge.
We're on live? We're recording. It's a straight video. That's why we try to
running around, spread my loving from town to town. I should do better.
They don't know what we're playing.
Yeah.
This is how it is. I heard when you're on Facebook, if you rate I don't own the rights to the music. They won't block the video. We own the rights to the show. We own the rights to the show. But we don't perform it. Yeah, but we own the rights to play it. We own the rights to play it on the radio. Yeah. So we own the rights. So we technically don't have the rights. I don't own the rights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but see, it's in a different format. That's why I think we gotta do. Yeah. See, on the radio. What I'm trying to say is that they generate a few dollars. They really don't know what we're playing right now. They don't. Now they don't know we're playing, and they don't need to see it. But then once I finish it, it's in a pop meta segment. It's a power meta coding. So how would I say, like, in the computer, no one is song plays. They can attack it after we're done with the show. Even after we're done with the show. So no one the song plays and say the song was played at this time and it was picking up. They'll tell you who made the claim. Is that right? Yeah. So let me see it. Say the claim when they made it. They have a competitor in there blocking it. Let me see what they said on the left. Probably definitely right. Your video is blind. This is I'm on that lesson. This is the one I got. Your video is blind. You can't be viewed in 4 locations. Blind countries that you have to use. The people in Guam, Northern Marina Island, Puerto Rico, and the United States. Everybody else. So the Polacks have a problem. Those Canadians are big enough. What's wrong with you? Cut men to pieces. Your video makes 1 minute and 4 seconds of
leave them cold in the night. I should do better. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I have to do it.
I should do better. Oh yeah. I should do better.
This may be the end of the song. This may be the end of the song right here. Yeah. Here you go.
Written by Kate Hart, performed by Sandy of Betty Boop. No, no. Betty B of the Road Walkers. And so very cool band.
You're showing your age, dude.
Yeah, Chuck, don't give up, man. Come on.
You dated Betty, didn't you?
I did, and I'll tell you stories during the break
about
Betty.
That's where the boop card comes in, right?
Yes, I'll tell you some stories about Betty Boop. There you go. And right now, the professor, we couldn't play the professor last week because I really, I brought the, I brought the stuff in, you know, it's on a disc.
Buying inferior discs.
And there was nothing on there. So that was just an improv show. But right now, we're going to hear the professor. Remember the song Quarter to Three?
Yes, great.
Man, what a great
Gary U.S. Bonds.
Gary U.S. Bonds, still around, and maybe I could get him on the show one of these days, but very cool.
And this is episode 58.
58, that's how long he's been doing it.
It's hard to believe.
God, that professor is something else. Maybe George could be like him one of these days. And Moto too. Okay, just joking. Let's go to it right now. Let's hear Quarter to Three.
Up in the morning and out to school. The teacher is teaching the golden rule. American history and
He's not telling me he's about this video. I looked at the last week and said one of them.
Working your fingers right down to the bone.
That was last week.
God behind you won't leave you alone.
Warner is not one of them. Warner Music is right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It says rights management. Your video partially muted. Your video.
This is the professor and class is in session. Gary U.S. Bonds was playing in New Jersey club called Red Baron in 1978 when he thought he'd give a local kid who seemed fairly popular a break by bringing him up on stage. After that incredible evening, the kid, Bruce Springsteen, asked Gary if they could work on an album together. But the Gary U.S. Bonds story starts on June 6, 1939, when Gary and Anderson was born in Jacksonville, Florida. There was a logical explanation behind the U.S. Bonds moniker. Gary's producer Frank Guida's office was next door to a deli that had a poster promoting the purchase of United States savings bonds, and Guida thought it might be a gimmick for the right singer. So Gary's first single, New Orleans, was released under the name U.S. Bonds. It was too late to go back to Gary Anderson, so future releases listed his name as Gary U.S. Bonds to clear up confusion with fans that thought U.S. Bonds was a group. Celebrating the success of New Orleans, which went to number 6, Gary was in the studio with the members of another LeGrand Records recording act, the Church Street 5. Although many rock historians claim the resulting song, Quarter to Three, was recorded accidentally, Bonds has said many interviews that
Oh, is this the mic? I could talk right now? Okay, I want to make a technical statement, okay? Because we're in a different forum, I have to say that we don't own the rights to the copyrights in this forum. When we play on the radio, we're licensed and we could do all this. So we're in a recording, we're actually on a radio station, but we're in a different forum. We're on extraterrestrial, in a sense, radio. So we're way out there. So I just wanted to tell you that. Look at my hair. God, is that gray like that? Amazing. I look like, oh God, get the cameras away from me. I can't stand it. So maybe that would be cool. Yeah, yeah.
Look at something. Look at something. Only you, because right now you can only see it because I don't want to stop the video on the too. Okay. Yeah. No, because I want to keep it on. Y'all gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep two video parts because we're done. I can take this exact video. This exact one.
I like the part where, remember when kids blow dad? Remember that? Blow dad. These guys, right? Rock and roll, man. Yep. Very good song. Happy that the guests aren't here. You're not good.
This episode of Off to School was brought to you by the law offices of Sheldon L.K., a personal service law firm with over 40 years' experience. Call Sheldon at 248-539-1111 for an appointment and consultation. That's the rock and roll lawyer, Sheldon K. at 248-539-1111. Till next week.
Whoa, some feedback right there. Let's do the song by the Beatles right now, right?
Great song, Professor.
Yeah, great job, Professor. And G. Scott, let's get G. Scott and Moto on. Where's Moto? Moto, you with us?
I'm right here.
Good, you have a lot of life in you after 3 and 20 beers you drank and 20 Gumbies, right? Yeah. Are you giving up and dancing or what?
I'm not again.
You see how he is? He's zoned out. Let's see. Get G. Scott on. Even G. Scott never... He really did. But Moto ain't rocking. He's so stoned out right now with the 20 beers he drank and wine. And we told him you can't be doing that on the show. But does he listen? You don't listen to anything. Even in the office, we...
What year do you think there was? 63, 64?
63. What year, George? 62? 63?
I think it was 63. after, I think Rick's right.
Yeah, it was really a great song. I remember hearing that. And the funny part with us as kids was Blow Daddy, right? I mean, as kids, our minds were sick. We were poisoned at that point. Okay. Oh, cool. My sister got good news. Great, great, great. Good. Okay. Very good. My sister is good. Thank God. Oh, la. And I know Moto doesn't like that, but I don't care. There you go. You want me to keep talking, right? Okay, let's do Julia right now. Let's go to the Vinyl Connection right now on the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show. I'm talking too much right here. He's getting it queued up. Here we go.
I got a little radio back. What is that? That's how you got it on. Right now, it's time to bring out the dance!
Hello and welcome to the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show here on WPON 1460 AM on your dial, WPON.com on the website, and streaming around the world through TuneIn.com. My name is JJ, and a Vinyl Connection has been made. Perhaps the most anticipated fall release is coming from Tom Petty. Wildflowers and All the Rest will be released posthumously on October 16th with 4 different editions, including a basic 25-track 2-CD set or 3 LPs and several deluxe packaging sets. While the original was released in 1994, Petty's last solo project before his death was to release the alternate versions of classic songs, never before heard music, demos, and live tracks. During the making of the original album, producer Rick Rubin was shocked when Petty made the announcement to go from a double album to a mere 15 songs. But it proved successful, selling over 3 million copies and becoming one of the best Petty records. And now, the album almost wasn't, due to a legal battle between Petty's widow and his daughters, who just wanted it put out the way their dad intended. The family worked together and healed through his music. Tom's last wish was to create a tour in support of this using a terrific backing band of key players and guest singers. That may still come to be, with bandmate Mike Campbell backing that. One of the songs that will be featured on the new Wildflowers album is the harmonica-laced There Goes Angela, Dream Away, from an unreleased home demo. Keyboardist Ben Montench says he does not remember hearing this and probably would have told Tom, "Oh, come on, let's cut this." He also said he's very thrilled that it's out, and it almost made him cry, hearing something that Tom did for the first time. And those are my sentiments exactly. There Goes Angela, Dream Away just pulls you into the magic that was Tom Petty.
For a while.
I'm JJ for the Vinyl Connection. Stay tuned for this and more contributions to the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and Facebook and WPON.com, and my website is down, so we can't see us there, but you can hear us every week.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later, Alan. You can hear us every week on WPON.com. On the radio, 1460 AM, Real Radio, which it really is.
He looks much better on Real Radio, by
Yes,
the way.
I do. I look really good with the new Invisible Man look.
Yes.
Which is how I like to look, you know.
This is like early Halloween thing, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. In fact, that's coming up tonight. In fact, today when I was at the eye doctor, they're saying, please read that. So I said HALLOWEEN. And the guy said, I don't see that. So, okay, dead air. I just created some dead air there. I like that, but I corrected it right away. G. Scott, let's get him on. G. Scott Rainey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to point out to the listeners.
Yes.
That, you know, the first time a lot of us heard Tom Petty, we immediately thought of the Byrds.
Yeah, I did.
Because of that soul strip.
He did I Feel a Whole Lot Better. I know he did that. And I wonder if I have that tonight. Maybe I do. I'm not sure. But yeah, he reminded me of the Byrds, and they did I Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star. Remember that one by
Yes.
the Byrds? They had a lot of great songs. But my favorite song that we couldn't play last week, we're going to play it now. I want to talk over it, Mr. Giloni. Okay, it's Diana. Now, what happened is that Paul Anka did. Well, hold on for a second. Okay. I want to talk about it a little bit. Paul Anka did two versions. He did one in 57 and in 59. His voice changed. So you're going to hear that, how his voice will change throughout the song. I cut them together. You're going to hear how he harmonized with himself.
So one is
also.
Polish and the other one is...
Yeah, it's Jewish. Yeah, so there you go. And it's
Two
really
versions.
it's really a cool version of it. And I maybe will point that out when you hear the change. But at first what I did was I played both of the songs together. And then I morphed into the 57, the hit version. And why this song means a lot is that when I was a kid, I don't know, 7 or so, when I heard this song, the first thing I heard was that saxophone part. And that grabbed me right away. But then
I was
the
going to
guitar.
say the guitar part.
But then the guitar right after that Calypso guitar, they call it. Now, somebody said it was Bucky Pizzarelli, but Michael Scarvellis and I think it's the great George Barnes, and I think it still is.
So that's half muted then, right?
It's muted.
Yeah.
And you got to have a special technique to do it. But then I think what they did was they put like a cloth in the back of their guitar to mute it, so they could do that. And it works like that. Johnny Cash did stuff like that. Put a piece of paper in there and made it sound like a drum. So, you want to roll it right now?
Yeah.
I would check this out, G. Scott. And what's Moto doing? Let's see if he's awake. Are you awake, Moto?
I'm right here. I'm right here, yes.
So you want to add anything to the show other than you're kind of stoned or what?
Let me do the promo.
Yeah, I like the Byrds and the whole topic.
We're gonna go to the top of the hour right now. We'll bring you guys back in a second.
You're listening to the station that remembers the real rock and roll. WPON, Walled Lake, Detroit. Or on the web at WPON.com.
Okay, that was the...
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, I love you, babe. I think we may... I don't know if we ever played that tune. Pretty cool.
No, it's talking about the lady.
Oh, the lady. Okay. Yeah, the lady announcer.
The announcement.
So, why don't we play Diana, and I want to talk over it a little bit, so you can keep the mic on, and then I'll point some things out. Okay, right now you're hearing both versions together. No, I was wrong. That's the original right there. That's the original. Now you're going to hear the second version right now. Check it out.
Thrills I get when you hold me close. Oh my darling, you're the most. I love you, but you love me. Oh Diana, can't you see? I love you with all my heart, and I will never part.
Yeah. So right there is the... I can't now put my phone there. This is my baby. That's the first version. I combined them both here. That's the original.
Did you have to adjust the time?
Yeah. Yeah, because the beats were conflicting, so I had to adjust it a little bit. That's a fun song, one of my favorite songs of all time.
It is your favorite song.
It really is. Now, let me ask you, Miss Deed, were you able to hear the changes, both versions in that? Were you able to kind of catch it?
I've never heard that before with him, but his voice got lower, deeper,
Yes.
and
His diction was more pronounced.
Yeah. He said, baby. I like how he did that. Baby. There you go. And one of my favorite songs. But, you know, if you tune into the show at the beginning, it's called That's for the Byrds. And the concept came up with Charles Douglas Duell III, told me about the idea. And I wanted to go back to that theme right now. And right now you're going to hear the time. Remember the times they are changing?
Yes.
Bob Dylan did it.
It's happening right now outside.
Oh, no kidding. G. Scott is a Bob Dylan fan. So we're playing right now, G. Scott, The Times They Are Changing.
Good song.
Add some more, because I don't know what else to say. Please.
Help.
Add some more song other than it's a good song. What do you know about the time? What album was that from? Do you remember?
The Time Zero Change.
Okay, good. Why don't we? Oh, that was the name of the album. Okay.
I think.
Okay. I'll take your word. I mean, you're a big Dylan fan. You're like a writer. So
I actually have to board more with when he went rock and roll.
Oh, okay. All right, well, you're going to hear some rock and roll by the Byrds, but you're going to hear the original version of The Times They Are Changing on 1460 WPON.
Here you go. That is too off. Go back on. Let's look at I turned it up and see if Moto's making any noise. So we can hear that. Then I'm making another. Moto. Probably I could have Moto's making any action. Shut up, Hutch. I'm not even bringing him on anymore. He doesn't offer anything to this time. Just bring him on just for him to listen. No, you don't the word. That bothers me. That I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if I want to go to this place. Go into that range. Oh, yes.
Let's bring G. Scott on that one. I dig that song. I like the Byrds version of that kicked, and it was really a great song. And those words are so true today. And here's my hope. And here's I don't talk politics. You guys know that. You have 50 people in the room, Democrats. You have 50 people in the room, Republicans. And there's no tie-breaking vote. They're going to have to sit there and figure it out. And I wish our country could get back to that and stop with the hatred towards anybody who has a political view that's different than yours. It's got to stop. We got to talk. Pretend you're in a classroom. Let's discuss ideas. Okay, instead of getting angry at each other. So that's it. That's my political comment. Okay. So right now, I remember the song my sister bought. I think my sister was really cool because she knew tunes even before I did. A lot of them. And I think she bought this record, It Ain't Me, Babe, by the Turtles. And I always love it. To this day, I dig that song. And the Turtles were noted for really great harmonies. And they really blast out on this here. And you're going to hear Bob Dylan, of course, who wrote it, and how the Byrds, not the Byrds, but the Turtles really did a great job. Again, why don't we play that on what show? The Rock and Roll Lawyer Show on 1460 AM.
There you go. There you go. And then the harmonies come in. Kick in. Right? Here we go. It's harmonized now. See that? here. Every day at 4 o'clock. What a great song. That'll be a good great I think we should have a meeting at your office to give us some direction on how we're going to do it. Next Thursday.
Man, that song kicks ass, doesn't it, man? How it just builds and builds and builds with the harmonies, just terrific. You could roll G. Scott. Let's see what he's saying here.
Well, I like the Turtles a lot. I like some of the early Dylan. I did start buying Dylan before he went elected, like The Other Side of Bob Dylan. That was the first one I ever bought. All sorts of good stuff on that. But I really liked him around 65 when he started playing Stratocaster. You know, everything changed.
Yes, and Mike Bloomfield played with him, didn't he, when they did Positively 4th Street, and of course the other great song that he did. Great, what a great writer he is. One of the world's greatest. And but this, I asked you earlier what was the first Byrds song that you heard, and I'm going to play it right now for you.
Turn, yeah, Turn.
Oh no, it's this one.
No.
It's this one.
Yeah.
You're going to hear it. You'll hear it.
Tambourine Man.
Yes.
Tambourine Man.
There you go. Boy, that bass is cool. Of course, the guitar is just unbelievable.
When I first makes you feel like you're in the 60s again.
When I first heard that, you could bring G. Scott in, it's cool. When I first heard that,
it's great.
It was just something that we never heard before. And that we heard, and their harmonies were incredible. were incredible.
You know what? Here's something you may or may not know. You know who loved Byrds? Miles Davis loved
He
Byrds.
did?
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
okay.
I would never have guessed that. He was a huge fan.
There is something we're going to play in a couple minutes here. Let's see if I have this here. Why did I put it in tonight? Or maybe I did. Yes, I did. Okay. There's a story I'll tell later. And you're right. There is a song that I'm going to be playing for the Byrds, and he was influenced by some jazz artist, Roger McGuinn. They called him Jim McGuinn at the time. And my friend Marty at where you got your guitar at, G. Scott, he has a Roger McGuinn guitar. The guy wants $5,000 for it. Yeah, that's, you know, yeah, and who's going to pay for that?
Wow.
You know, but he's able to get that bird sound, that real compressed sound. Now I'm able to get that with a little pedal, a little foot pedal. That, you know, that gives you
Well,
that.
you have a Rickenbacker 12 string. You have a Rickenbacker 12 string.
Yeah,
don't you?
I do. And what a great
And
sound.
that's what he used.
That's what he used. But he added that compression. That's how he was able to get that trebly sound. But he gets it from his guitar. But when they recorded that, they used a bunch of compressors in the studio for him to get
strings.
that. And cheap strings. Yeah, right. Treble strings. Right. Exactly. And another tune that Bob Dylan wrote that the Byrds covered was "My Back Pages." Remember that one?
Yes, I do.
And this guy had so many messages that he was giving out at the time, and maybe it's appropriate now, who knows. But why don't we roll with "My Back Pages" on the G. Scott Rainey Show. There's
Crimson flames tap through my ears, going high and mighty traps. Countless fire and flaming road, using ideas as my maps. We'll meet on edges soon, said I, proudly heated brow. But I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. Half-right prejudice, leave before, red down all hate I scream. Lies that life is black and white, spoke from my skull I dream. Romantic flanks of musketeers, foundation deep somehow. I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. In a soldier stance, I aim my hand at the mongrel dogs to teach. Fearing that I'd become my enemy in the instant that I breathe. Distance cut my confusion bolts, keep me concerned about. I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now.
Oh, we're back. We're trying to figure out Mama Cass's kid. Do you think, who knows what her name is? Does G. Scott know that? Oh, great, Moto. See, he's too high right now. That's why. Look at him. You know,
Mama Cass's kid?
Who was Mama Cass's kid?
I didn't even know she was a mother other than her name, Mama.
No, she. Let's see here. Elliot.
I thought they just gave her the Mama name.
No, they talked about her being pregnant in one of her hit songs.
She was in a great
I thought
band.
she was just big.
No, they called her Mama.
Woman. I didn't know she was pregnant. I thought she was just a large woman.
She was in a band called the Big Three, and they were really a great folk music act in the 60s, early 60s. I played some of their stuff on the show. Let's see, who is the daughter here? She had a daughter. Oh, let me find out. Okay. I don't know. Well, we'll get it later. I don't want to say too much right now. That was my back pages. Now, right now, do you remember the Bo Brummels? Remember that?
Yes.
What?
Great group.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Bo Brummels.
What was their they had talk da 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 I can't stay da 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 laugh laugh.
Oh, yes.
Laugh
Yeah.
laugh, and what was the other one?
They had a few, but only a few.
Yeah, but they were really good singers, and they were folk.
You played their big hit. You played a number.
Oh yes, but I'm going to play this one because it's really folk orientated, and their harmonies during the chorus are incredible. And I remember doing this song with my old band, The Lost Generation, but I don't know if this is an alternative tune. I'll let my manager over here to my right tell me if
Well, let's hear it.
Okay, let's hear it. You Tell Me Why by the Bo Brummels.
And then you can leave George on. We'll talk. You can go. I know. I know. Pretty cool. Me and the choir just getting higher in LA, you know that's that. Everybody's getting fat except Mama Cat. Remember that, right? Yeah. Earlier in that song, they say that she is getting fat. Oh, really? Kind of like had the baby on the song. Oh, okay. Second part of the song. I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
Show You Tell Me Why by the Bo Brummels.
I don't know why. You tell me why.
Do you remember them, G. Scott? You
Who's on
them?
first?
Well, I'm playing. It sounds a lot like the Byrds.
They sure do. That's why I played it. But great harmonies during the bridge of the song. But you remember that song? You used to work for Dave Dixon, right?
I did.
And didn't he write a song called?
Of APX thing, he's great guy. He's absolutely amazing.
He wrote. What did he write? I Dig Rock and Roll. Yeah.
Rock and Roll Larry Show.
Now there was also a line that you're trying to figure out. What?
Yeah.
Lay it on.
One of the Mama Papa tunes, and they talked about Mama Cass is getting fat, and then later on in the song they talk about everybody's getting fat except Mama Cass. Remember the name of that song?
I had that album, believe it or not, but I don't remember the name of it.
Okay, we could look up the lyrics and get that. Who else called?
It's Moto.
Oh, him again? Is that you again? Moto? Okay, let's hear how he sounds. Can you pass a breath test?
Right now, probably yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, he had to run out to get munchies.
So you didn't eat any. You didn't have anything to drink.
He talked back on some trees, like 100.
Well, I can't. Well, you guys are interrupting each other. I can't hear what's going on. Who's talking?
Take it away.
Yeah, I just had dinner right now. Meatballs and rice.
Listen how he sounds. That's not the Moto that we know, is it?
Moto, no Moto?
It sounds like he's spending time in a sewer drain.
All right, Moto, here's the deal. And this is going to be it. The next time you come on the show, you can't be drinking. Okay?
No, this is 3 hours ago.
Yeah, but when you came on the show, you sounded like you were ready to go to sleep.
It's just because I'm in bed right now and I'm having dinner now. That's
In bed. You're having dinner in bed? Is that what you're doing?
There you go.
Yes.
What are you eating? Gee.
Good question.
Rice and meatballs and asparagus.
Allah. All right. Well,
no macaroni and cheese and a hot fudge sundae and a little bit of pancakes and blueberries. And,
that's what he had for
liverwurst.
Yeah, really.
For the liverwurst.
No liverwurst.
And a key lime pie also.
So, you said that Miles Davis liked the Byrds.
He did. Because Miles Davis wanted to be a rock star. He wanted to go on a stadium,
Well, also, he was influenced by, Roger McGuinn was influenced by John Coltrane, and he talked about the guitar part on here that, when he started improvising, he said, he heard a Coltrane song, and he said, well, let me see what I can do with it. And so when you hear his guitar part on this next song, 8 Miles High, and I know that song really well because I was thrown out of the Grandy Ballroom because I was too stoned, and I wouldn't get off the stage, okay? Did that ever happen to you where the promoter's trying to get you off, you say F you to the guy?
No.
I did that to Russ Gibb, and he said, you're never going to work again in town, and after that, we had a gig 2 weeks after at Silver Bell, the place he owned, and we still worked. He never knew.
Creek Alley.
Creek Alley, that's the name of it. Thank you.
Yes.
You found that? See, that's what I would want Moto to be doing. We talk about it, and he would just sit there and dream about food.
1967, peaked at number 5 on the U.S. Billboard, went to number 4 in Australian and Canadian charts.
So they played it there. They weren't bumped off the radio, were they? Like us?
Like us? No, I don't think so.
Okay, very cool. All right. So right now, this song, I remember playing it so long, and Gene Segrist and I played it too long, and Russ Gibb got pissed. He cut the power off, and that was it for us at the Grandy Ballroom.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life. So it really put a dent in my wallet for a week. The week after, that was about it. So, but we had fun that night at the Grandy, and Gene Segrist actually came on the air and talked about it, because we agreed that we were going to get stoned that night, and we lied to
your
the
unibrow was crooked.
Yes.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you. Now I look better on the radio.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a face for radio. There you go. Let's hear 8 Miles High in the key of E. You'll never work again in the city, Kay. That's it for you. You'll never play the Grandy at all, Kay. That's what I heard. You'll never play the Grandy at all. And
so where you got the nickname KK?
KK, there you go. So if you tune in, you're listening to the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show. We had some difficulties at the beginning, but this, you tell me that it's going to work. You're going to put the video up, aren't you?
Yes, right now, well, we're recording on Facebook. We did go live, but we ended up getting blocked. And right now I just kept the live going. As soon as we're done with the show, I just end it, and then I would post whatever song that they blocked us with, they'll post it in music.
I bet you they didn't block anything after that.
Well, then we got to find that little guy with the big finger.
Yeah, that schmuck that works for the Court of
That's
Appeals,
the one.
that works also for Warner Brothers. And where else?
And Universal.
And Universal. God, what a bunch of a-holes. All right. So this next song, we could bring G. Scott in. We don't have to worry about him. But Moto, you know what, Moto, what kind of rules should we have with Moto about him coming back on the air?
He needs to
G.
hold the
Scott?
phone closer to his mouth so we can hear him.
Moto can serve drinks.
Can do that.
He could serve drinks to us while we're on the radio.
Serve drinks.
That is too funny.
I took over Moto. I dance now. My hands and arms are flailing.
So if you put Moto on, what do you think he's going to say?
What's that?
Oh, you
I
funny
love it.
man. You are a funny guy.
You got to get back to the show,
You
Jim.
got to get back, man. You are the star of the show, Moto, with your comments. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I know you haven't been feeling well, you know, but you'll get better. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll come on soon. And then this way, who did that sound? Was that G. Scott coughing?
Somebody.
Yeah, I'm coughing. I don't know.
Uh-oh, you better get checked. You better get checked.
Get your mask on.
No, who was my cat?
Should take your temperature.
Oh, okay.
So he's got his cap and his mask on.
So right now.
I got my cats all over this room.
Oh, okay. Right now, I want to.
Go away.
Okay, right now, right now on our show, G. Scott. Okay.
Whose show is this anyhow?
Yeah, I said it was the G. Scott Rainey show, so he's rolling with that.
It's the Moto drinking hard show.
There you go. A hard rain is going to fall. There you go.
Yeah.
So right now, Marcus Allen of the band I play in, the Alternatives, him and I started it after we got rid of the shell tones and those schmucks who
What a
was in
name.
that bull. Ugh. You know who gave the name to us?
The bass player and keyboard player?
No, John Tully.
Oh, really?
He came up with that. You know, Sherry's husband, my right hand, and so he came up with it. It was
good for junior high.
It was good for junior high, yeah. The Shellettes or whatever, but whatever. And then we had a lot of crazy trouble with those people, right? And you did too. And
oh yes.
Glad they ain't around. I mean, not dead, but I'm glad they ain't in my life anymore. And I'm sure you're happy with that too, aren't you?
Yes.
You flourished after that. In fact, you became a producer after that of your own music.
Yes, I did.
Out of necessity, but you did it.
And I enjoy it.
And you enjoy it, and you're great at it.
Well, thank you.
And so, we should be playing some new stuff for you in a while.
I can bring that next week.
Let's do it. Okay, you're going to hear Frigid Pink next week.
Brand new EP coming out called Hot Pink.
Hot Pink. Ooh.
Hot. I say Hot Pink.
Hot Pink. And did you give him that idea?
I did not.
Oh, you're funny, man. You
should have taken credit anyhow.
She's so cute. I love her. So cute. Okay, right now, let's hear the song Why, originally done by the Byrds. But Marcus did a great job, great guitar on it. And I said, man, let's just do it. Play it. Play this song. He said, I forgot the guitar part. There you go. that was Marcus Allen of the Alternatives doing Wow.
Hey, Marcus.
Very cool tune. Now, this next song right now that will wrap up the show, I played the original version last week by Barry McGuire. It was written by P.F. Sloan. And he wrote he wrote You Baby by the Turtles, a bunch of other big hits.
I didn't know the Turtles did this.
Yeah, and what happened is that he took a lot of heat when he put that song out. They labeled him as a communist. He was just trying to say, look at what's happening in our country. And that's why I play it every week. Until the country heals, I think I'm going to just keep playing this
That
song.
song got a lot of airplay back
Oh,
in
yeah,
the day.
it really did. The most famous, well, there's so many famous lines in there, just brilliant.
The Eastern world.
Yeah, it is exploding.
It
Violence
is.
flaring, bullets, what's that gun you're toting? You're
Yes.
old enough to vote, but not for, you're old enough to kill, but not for voting? Yeah. And even the, what are you, Gabby
Scott.
Hayes? What is this here? You sound like Gabby Hayes, G. Scott. Unbelievable. Okay.
I've been drinking what Moto drinks.
Yeah, I know you have. I know you have. Well, why don't we play the Turtles version? And the difference is harmonies. You hear it because they were great singers, and you hear good harmonies on that. But the words are so powerful, and it's applicable today. Applicable. Let's play the Even Destruction.
Different way with the drums here.
The Eastern world, it is exploding. Violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. You don't believe in war, but what's that get into? There's the Jordan River, as bodies floating. Watch out. Tell me over and over and over again, my friend, how you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. But don't you understand what I'm trying to say? And can't you feel the fears that I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. There'll be no one to save with the world in a gray. Take a look around you, boy. It's bound to scare you, boy. And just tell me over and over and over again, my friend, how you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Think of all the hate there is in Red China. Then take a look around to Selma, Alabama. You may leave here for 4 days in space, but when you return, it's the same old place. The pounding of the drums, the pride and disgrace. You can bury it dead, but don't leave a trace. Hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say grace. Tell me over and over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Oh, no, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction.
There you go, man.
There you go. Even destruction. The line that I like is about saying grace. You hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say grace.
Yes.
What a great line. I'm going to say goodbye to G. Scott, and I'll even say goodbye to. I'll say goodbye to Moto. Moto, next week you cannot be drinking even 3 hours before the radio show, and I don't want you. And you can't be in bed. I mean, maybe
dinner in bed.
You can't have dinner in bed while you're on the radio, man.
I know, it's just that time. What am I supposed to do?
Sit in your vehicle.
What is he
and listen to
supposed to do? Wait till the show's over with or eat before?
Or sit in your vehicle and listen to the show.
My mom made the food, so.
Okay, all right, whatever. Okay, we had a fun show, And I think we're going to bust out of here. But next week, who knows what we're going to do. Maybe we'll get the live fixed. But one thing I will say is that I don't know what that means. But we're going to be posting this on YouTube, and people could actually see the show. What happened there, kid?
Your live video will be removed if you continue to broadcast music you do not have permission to use.
Okay.
Oh, that's a new one.
That's a good one. All right. So we're not going to broadcast any more
Come
music
and get
right
us.
now. Well, this song is in the public domain, so they can't do anything about it. So, and that I know. This I know. They can't touch this song. So, but I had a fun time tonight. We started the show with Big Joe Turner doing a tune called Jumpin' Tonight. And we did All I Really Want to Do by Cher, the Byrds, and Bob, of course. Bells of Ribney, Pete Seeger, and the Byrds. Turn. Great interview by Pete Seeger explaining the song. And the Byrds, again, and Betty B and the Roadwalkers, Bad Girl Blues. Then we did, then the professor did 2:45. That was a great segment. And JJ did the really cool segment with Tom Petty. And then I did Paul Anka. I kind of like show you the difference here. And times they are changing. Bob and the Birds. It Ain't Me Day, Bob and the Turtles. Tambourine Man, Bob and the Birds. My Back Page is Bob and the Birds. And then Bo Brummel, who tells me why. Got a lot of songs here. 8 Miles High by the Birds. Why by Marcus Allen. Golly, even the Structure.
Golly.
God, I never said that in my life. That really just took me down. I lost all my cool.
Yeah.
I ain't cool anymore, man.
You live down in Alabama.
Oh, man, I ain't so cool. Golly.
That Bob
Gee,
gets
golly.
around, doesn't he?
He does.
I think I know where we're going to go eat. You know, I think we're going to go eat, let me think here.
Carl's Chop House.
That would be great.
Yes.
See the Tigers.
The Chewigans down in Eclipse.
Oh, I've never been there.
It's gone, so.
Well, I tell you where we're going to go. I'm going to see you next week, but we're going to go to the Ram Sound. See you at the Rock and Roll Lawyer Show next Friday.
Rock and Roll Lawyer Show is a registered trademark owned by Sheldon King and produced by your favorite production company, Spag Productions, LLC.